So if you are living a life where you're having a lot of external successes, but you're not enjoying it and you're not aligned and you are driving yourself crazy and mad and you're always in overwhelm or feeling like you have to be perfect or you have to put on this persona just to show up in your life, then why are you even doing it? Why am I experiencing my life like this and how can I change that? The funny thing about success is not about what we gain. It's not about our revenue income. It's about who we become along the way. And that's why it's so important to do this work because you can have a lot of external successes. You can look like you're successful on the outside. But when you aren't feeling that and embodying that and being that version of yourself that you want to be, and that really does feel very aligned, none of that matters. So if you are living a life where you're having a lot of external successes, but you're not enjoying it and you're not aligned and you are driving yourself crazy and mad and you're always in overwhelm or feeling like you have to be perfect or you have to put on this persona just to show up in your life, then why are you even doing it? So we have to take a couple of steps back and we have to say, how did I get here? What does this look like? Why am I experiencing my life like this? And how can I change that? What does that relationship look like if I change that relationship with myself? And if I change that relationship to what success actually looks like as well? So I've been doing this work long enough to know that success isn't the outcome. Success is the byproduct of the work that we do. We're not chasing success because it will never come. It will never be good enough. It will never be what you're seeking because it's always external. So we're doing that work. We're changing that relationship with ourselves. We're believing in ourselves. We're shedding all these old stories that were given to us from other people, all of our conditioned belief that told us what success is, what that looks like, how we can embody it, or how we can be that version of ourselves in that. And we're saying, no, how am I going to be successful? What does that look like for me? And how can I actually enjoy it along the way? How can I enjoy what I'm doing? What's fun about my life? How can I show up every day in this way where I'm presenting myself and I'm being visible and I'm enjoying it and it's not work and it's not something that I have to try to do or I have to try to be. I'm just me showing up authentically. And if you are a service-based business, it's the only way that you're going to be able to grow is by showing up as yourself. The market's crowded. We don't have to try to sugarcoat that. There's a lot of people out there doing what you do, but nobody's you. Right? Show them how you do what you do as you. That's it. That's what makes you different. That's the thing that sets you apart. So if you're trying to be somebody else, if you're trying to fit into somebody else's mold because you think that's what is success, then you're always going to fall short. You have to be able to show up as you. You have to be willing to say, who am I? And how can I be vulnerable? And how can I show up as that? And what stops me from doing that? That's the power you have. Right? Because nobody else is doing it like you because they're not you. They can't show up as you. You have to remind yourself that. You don't need to be somebody else. You don't need to chase this external success that somebody else has. You need to say, well, what is my aligned success? What do I want? What does that look like? How do I embody that? How do I step into that? What's that version of me that I want to be? And then push away all the things that aren't yours, all the conditioned responses, all the beliefs, all the things that hold you back. But there's so much power in you saying yes to stepping into who you are. And if you want that external success, it has to start from changing the relationship with yourself and getting to know who you are and then being willing to show up. Because, like I said, the market's crowded. How am I going to know your business from Jane's business? How would I know what you do? How would I connect to you? People connect to people. They connect to the energy, show that energy, show up, be willing to do this work. Because the only thing that's going to hold you back is you and your lack of commitment to showing up as yourself. So, what does that look like for you? How can you do that? How can you step into that? You have to ask yourself these questions. What holds you back from being willing to be visible? And this is who you're becoming. So that success isn't about the plaque on the wall or the revenue income. It's about who you're becoming along the way. It's about how those relationships change with others. Your relationship to success will change. There's so many different aspects in this, and it's always becoming focused on me. Me, right? Can feel very selfish, but that's the way. That's the way to success is by saying, how do I need to show up? How do I want to show up? How can I sustain showing up? What's the version of me that needs to be out there and start showing up? How do I be less reactive to the external stresses? How do I have more fun showing up in my life and my business? Just begin to be playful. Ask yourself these questions. Get curious about who you are and stop focusing on all of the external successes. And just allow yourself to be present and embody who you're becoming and who you are. It's a really beautiful shift. So just share with me in the comments what really stands out. Who are you becoming? What does that look like for you? What's that version of you that you're really stepping into and that you're really willing and ready to embody?